Hello everyone, I am Prerna Garg, Assistant Professor, Jaipuria Institute of Management, Ghaziabad, and the topic that we will be discussing today is media planning and strategy. Now the very important question that arises here is, what is media planning and what is media strategy? So first of all, we as students must be aware of the fact that media planning and strategy is a part of the integrated marketing communication that any marketer designs in order to communicate the message of his or her their brand to the consumers. So though this term media planning may look like, or it may seem very simple to understand, but it is not so. It's not a child's play. Media planning in itself is a very difficult task for any marketer or any media planner. Now let's also understand initially that media planning and strategy is very well related to consumer behavior. Now why so? When I talk about consumer behavior is the decision making process that any consumer is engaged into while purchasing a brand. So as a marketer or as a media planner, my foremost duty is to ensure that my brand is there in the mind of the consumer at the time of the purchase. Therefore, I have to design my content, I have to design my message in such a way that it leaves a long lasting impression on the mind of the consumer, and whenever he or she goes to the market to purchase that brand or that product category product, he or she is able to recall and recognize my brand from all the competing brands. So while the marketer is trying to attempt this, he or she is in a state of confusion. Then how to deliver a message that is effective, most effective in terms of the long lasting impact it will have on the consumer, as well as it is really cost effective to me as a marketer. For this purpose, they go for the integrated marketing communication, and in integrating marketing communication, they decide to go for media planning. So media planning becomes really important because marketers have to understand and they have to design a planning process which will involve a series of steps, and these steps must lead to communicating the message of the marketer, the message that the brand is there for in the market to the target audience in the best possible manner and at the best possible time. Now when I say this word time, this becomes really important. So first of all, let's just have a glimpse on what media planning is defined as, or what is the basic definition. So media planning is a process used by marketers to determine where, when and how often their advertisements need to be run in order to maximize two things. First is engagement of the customer, and second is the ROI. So the three words, the three catches in the entire statement as I just spoke about is where, when and how often. That means where should the marketer actually communicate the message from, what would be the right time to communicate the message, and last is how often the message should come across the consumer so that the consumer sees it again and again and again. But the catch again is the message should not be repeated too much or it should not be too less. In case the consumers does not come across the message too often, there is a huge possibility that they will forget your brand. But if the message is coming again and again before the consumer, there is a possibility that they will feel cluttered about your brand, and they would probably form a perception that you are really communicating the message again and again to push your product. So marketers have to wisely decide as in when, where and how often they have to communicate their message to the target audience. Now just because we are talking about different medias, so there are n number of options available with the marketers to communicate the message. We have been looking at different media options since our birth. We have been looking at televisions, we have been looking at radios, we have been looking at magazines, newspapers, outdoor advertising, transit advertising, internet and whatnot. But as a marketer, I have to understand that each of this media is having certain pros and certain cons. Therefore, I as a marketer may want to choose the best media possible. a media that can actually hit the target audience in the best fashion. But then the question arises, am I in a position to do so? Am I having enough resources to do so? Therefore, marketers have to decide the advertising budget very, very wisely, and they have to ensure that they are using a combination of the conventional modes of media and the contemporary modes of media. If they will feel I need to focus only on the conventional ones, probably they will miss out on a huge population that are not going for the conventional mode now. And if they would go only for the contemporary ones, probably they would miss out on the people, on a huge population who are still using the conventional modes as their source of information. So marketers must understand that they have to split their advertising spend equally or very, very wisely between the online and offline channels of communications. For effective engagement, marketers need to serve the consumers with two important rights, that is the right message and at the right time. So, I have just emphasized on the fact that timing is very important. Now, it can be really understood through one fact. Let us just take an example. Why does a producer of a movie or a director of a movie try to plan out the right time to release their movie into the market? Why is it not so that we will, why the marketers usually come up with the idea of launching their movie or releasing their movie in the market at the time of any festival or at the time of any public holiday or at the time of New Year? Because they know the importance of time. They understand the timing is very important, because this is a time when majority of the consumers would be having idle time with them. They are in a mood of celebration, they are in a mood of leisure time. So, why not capture them? Why not have the footfalls in your theatres? Similarly, every media planner has to ensure the right usage of time. They have to ensure that the brand through about which they are trying to communicate in the market is actually released at the right time. So, brands have to be very, very clever at this approach, and they have to identify the right time during which the message about their brand has to be communicated in the market. So, it is not only about the right message. A marketer may spend huge amount of money and huge amount of time, effort on getting a creative idea, a novel idea, a novice idea, but then what? If you are not able to communicate that creative novel idea at the right time, it will definitely bounce. I just saying this, I just came across an example. Few years back, Dove as a brand came up with a campaign wherein they launched 7 different bottles of Dove, and the bottles were having 7 different shades. So, the entire idea behind Dove's campaign was to promote body types of women. So, they were trying to communicate that yes, it is good of whatever size you are or whatever shape you are, embrace your body, and therefore, they came up with those 7 body shapes. And when when this campaign was communicated in the marketer, the consumer took it in absolutely an entirely different way. They felt that this is not the way we should endorse somebody's body shape, and the product bounced. Dove couldn't understand that even after having a very creative message, a creative team behind it, a very creative mind behind it, why did the message bounce? Because you have to understand as a marketer that the way you are communicating the message in the market and the intention or how the consumer will accept it may be entirely different. So, it has to be there that the marketers are trying to communicate the right message at the right time, and if he is taking care of these rights, the media planning tends to be effective. Now, when I again emphasize on this word media planning, so I have just said that media planning may seem simpler, but it is not simple. It is absolutely not a child's play. So, whenever a marketer is establishing a media plan, they often consider certain areas that they would emphasize upon. So, the first area, that most prime area that they take into account is who does the ad need to reach. That means, this can be precisely communicated as a target audience. So, marketers have to be very, very sure whether their product is a mass consumption product or it is specifically meant for a niche population. So you as a media planner have to ensure that before you are designing a message to be communicated to the audience, you have to be very clear with the target audience for whom you are designing the message, because my parents may have a different perception. My parents would probably like a different mode of communication about any brand to them, but I as a millennial may not prefer that. So you have to understand whom you are targeting the message. The second area talks about the marketing budget. As I have just discussed, budget becomes another important consideration in the entire media planning process. Just because every marketer may not be in a position to spend hefty amounts on advertising, you have to be very clever, and you have to very wisely decide which medias would you prefer and which specific carrier would you prefer to communicate the message to the target audience in the most cost effective manner. So identifying which method of advertising would you prefer would be covered in the subsequent sessions to come. The third area that marketers usually ponder upon is the conversion goals. Now again, it is very critical. Why? Because whenever a marketer is doing certain activity of communicating the message about their brand to the audience, they are definitely having certain objectives in mind. So no media planning process can work without having objectives. So when I say a media planner is working on conversion goals, that means they are actually trying to measure how many target audience are they able to convert after the message has been communicated to them. So they have to measure this, that before the content, before the ad was released in the market, these many number of people were actually buying my brand, but after this campaign, after this message have been communicated to them, I am able to convert these many number of people to actually buy the product. So they have to be very particular about the conversion goals. Therefore they have to set fixed objectives about that. The next area that marketers usually goes for is the frequency of the message. Now, it may be a challenge again. Frequency of the message is a critical area, because marketers know if they would over advertise their brand, people will probably perceive them as being a marketer who's using a push strategy to endorse their brand or to push their brand into the market and form a behavioral intention. But if a marketer will actually go for under advertising, probably people will forget their brand. So the challenge is on deciding frequency of the message. That means how many times on an average your target, every individual in your target must be exposed to your message through a media vehicle over a period of time. So over a period of time, how many times your message should come across those target audience is how you are trying to measure the frequency. Apart from frequency, another challenge that comes with the marketer is the reach of the message. Now there is a difference between frequency and reach. When I talk about frequency, I am talking about the number of times the message should come across with the consumer. But when I am saying reach of the message, then I am saying number of individuals in the target audience whom my message should be delivered over a period of time through at least one media vehicle. That means how many more subsequent number of people can be exposed to my message, that is referring to the reach. Now reach can vary from brand to brand, from product to product, and from the campaign to campaign. Marketers who are making something that is a mass consumption product may have a wider reach, probably because everybody can consume that. The Tata Salt may have a different reach, they may intend to have a different reach as compared to Sensodyne, because Sensodyne is specifically meant for a specific purpose, but Tata Salt is talking about a mass consumption product, a salt product like salt that is to be consumed in almost every Indian household. Therefore, you as a marketer have to understand how many individual potential customers in the market are you intending to communicate your message to. And the last key area is how to define success. Now, success in itself is very abstract. For marketers, success can have different definitions, but yes, to be more precise, more or less every marketer would measure success of their marketing communication strategy or media planning by the way they are able to identify the conversion goals. If they are able to get their objectives fulfilled, and if they are able to see a hike in the sales in the market, or if they are able to measure a better recall and recognition rate of their brand among the consumers, they can define their success definitely. Now, there are different terminologies that are associated with media planning. So, when we will go with this process of media planning in the coming lectures, we will be discussing certain terms, or rather we will be using certain terms very often. So, just let us have a glimpse on what those terms are, so that there is no confusion while the concepts would be elaborated. So, the very common media terminology, first is media planning. As I have just told, media planning is a series of decisions involving the delivery of the message to the target audience. So, the media planning involves n number of decisions. There is an entire chain of decisions through which a media planner go through in order to ensure the delivery of the right message to the right audience at the right time. So, we cannot forget these three rights. The second term involves is media objectives. So, media objectives means the goals to be attained by the media strategy and program. So, I have just highlighted this fact that before any media planning is done, or before any message is communicated to the target audience, the media planner ensures that the objectives have been well described. These objectives must be very clear, with no ambiguity, very precise, and they must be measurable. So, those goals that the media planner is setting before that media process or media strategy is implemented into the market is all about media objectives. So, a marketer must ensure that the media objectives are set before this communication is done to the consumers. The third terminology here is media strategy. Now, media strategy says, now there is again a catch. There sometimes there is a confusion between media planning and media strategy. Let me explain it. When I said media planning, it means there are certain decisions, there are certain steps through which I as a marketer is trying to communicate my message to the right audience. But when I say strategy, I am talking about something different. I am talking about something through which my goals or objectives can be achieved in a different fashion than my competitors. So, to be more specific, when I say media planning, so probably every competitor or every competing company brand would probably be following the same set of steps in order to communicate the message to the target audience. But then when everybody is doing the same thing, why and how I as a marketer should be in a position to differentiate from them? Here comes the role of media strategy. So, media strategy says that when you all are planning almost similar kind of media planning steps, then you have to wisely and you have to very carefully identify a tactic. You have to identify a strategy that can lead to your goal fulfillment or objective fulfillment in an absolutely different fashion than your competitors. So, this is your move in the markets. You cannot follow the race, the mad race of your competitors or competing brands like anything. You have to think strategically. So, media strategy talks about the decisions on how the media objectives can be achieved, but in an absolutely differentiated manner. Now, the next term that is involved here is media. Now, I would take media and the last term on this box, that is media vehicle, together. There is a hairline difference between what media talks about and what media vehicle talks about. So, when I say media, that means I am having options of delivery systems available for me as a marketer. So, I may go for broadcasting media or I may choose for print media. That means these are the broad categories of media that are available with me to communicate my message to the target audience. But then there are n number of options available within the broadcast media and there are n number of options available within the print media. And when I say that specific carrier within the broadcast or print media that will carry my message to the target audience, here comes the role of the term media vehicle. So, media vehicle is the specific carrier within a medium category. Again, let us take an example to understand this. I as a marketer of Complan was intending to go for a new promotional campaign wherein I wanted to convey the target audience that there is a new variant of Complan available in the market. Now, when I intended to communicate this message, I thought probably broadcast medium would be the best option to communicate this message, because it is having a long lasting effect on the mind of the consumers. But then what in broadcasting medium? So, I thought, why not narrow it down and go for television specifically. So, when I said broadcasting medium as my choice to communicate my new variant of Complan in the market, I was talking about media. But when I said I would specifically be going for television as the media to communicate my ads, wherein people can see audio, video, lights, sounds, action, everything in one go, I talked about the specific carrier, that is the media vehicle. This centered two terms, that is broadcast and print. So, I have just said we are having different category of delivery systems available with us as marketers. So, the two broad categories of communication systems that are available to communicate my message to the audience are the broadcasting and print media. So, broadcasting media, either radio or television or any local station broadcast can be used, and when I talk about print media, we have been using it since ages in the form of newspapers, magazines, direct mails, outdoor, wall paintings and whatnot. So, these were some of the essential terms that are linked with media terminology. Now, the last three terms that are again used very often in media planning are reach, coverage and frequency. I have recently emphasized on the fact that reach and frequency are different. Reach, number of different audience members exposed at least once in a time period, and when I said frequency, the number of times the receiver is exposed to that media vehicle over a time period. So, frequency is talking about the repetition, while reach is talking about the number of heads in the market who would be exposed to my message. Then what is coverage? Now, again a hairline difference that we have to understand between reach and coverage. Reach is talking about the audience, actual audience that I intend to expose my message to, wherein coverage is saying the potential audience, the potential audience that might receive the message through the vehicle. So, even if they are not your actual audience, they are your potential audience who may receive your message through any vehicle over a period of time. But reach was specifically talking about the actual audience who would be exposed to my message at least once over a period of time. So, I hope the basic terms of media planning are clear to us. Just having a glimpse over what we have just discussed, media planning determines the best way to get the advertiser's message to the market. Then the goal of media planning and effective media planning is to combine different media options in such a way that you can reach maximum customers at the lowest cost. So, optimizing this, balancing this is the catch, and as I said, media planning is not easy. I definitely meant that there are n number of steps involved in, and here come the steps. Media planning involves decisions like analyzing the situation, analyzing the market, target audience, working on the marketing strategy plan, working on the creative side of it, then setting your objectives that you intend to accomplish over a period of time, determining what media strategy to be used, then selecting the media class and working on the specific media carrier or vehicle on which your message will board and communicate to the audience. So, these decisions in itself are difficult, time consuming, and if successful, they can really take the marketer to new heights. But here comes the problems. Media planning is not easy. We have discussed, we have said it again and again, and the four major problems that usually arises in media planning are being discussed now. The first problem of media planning is insufficient information. Though there is sufficient information available to the marketers in the market about the consumers, about the competitors, about the market, changing preferences, but still some data cannot be measured, either because it cannot be measured or probably it is too expensive to be purchased by certain marketers. So, every marketer may not have that affordability to capture that data from the market and use it for their media planning. Therefore, insufficient information or lack of information or lack of every information becomes a challenge. For example, continuous measures of radio listenership exist, but only periodic listenership studies are reported due to sample size and cost constraints. So, there is a difficulty in information sufficiency. This is even more problematic for small advertisers who actually do not have that affordability to buy latest data. Therefore, they have to compromise and they have to work on obsolete or limited data. The second problem that arises in media planning is inconsistency in terminology. Now, this is very, very important to be noted. This problem arises because there is a difference in terminologies for the cost basis and the standards of measurement by different media options. To be specific, when I talk about print media present the cost data in terms of CPM, that is cost to reach 1,000 people. So, this is how they are presenting their cost data. But when I switch on to the broadcasting medium, I see broadcasting media uses CPRP, that is cost per ratings point. So, for them the very concept of reach and frequency may look synonymous to each other, although it is not. Therefore, they have changed the entire meaning altogether, a different meaning they have assigned to reach and frequency. So, because different medias are having different cost bases attached to it and different standards of measurement, there is a problem of inconsistency in terminologies. And these are the last two problems in media planning. The third one says time constraints. We all know marketers are really active in the market. Majority times media planners do not get sufficient time to plan their media campaign, because your competitor have just taken a strategic move in the marketer. For example, some airline competitor have just slashed the fare, and you as another competitor of the same brand has to take immediate move. You also have to work on something similar kind of this. Therefore, you are having a time pressure on you. This time pressure creates difficulty in media planning. And the last one is difficulty in measuring effectiveness. I have just said not all media decisions are quantitatively determined. Though you want to measure them quantitatively, but then which media is more effective, which media is less effective, this is a huge challenge. Therefore, all media decisions are not always quantitatively determined, and managers have to rely sometimes on the image of the media that they are using or the impact of the recent events that they come across in order to measure the effectiveness. So, when I say there are these problems, marketers or media planners have to understand and they have to cope up continuously with these problems. So, in the entire topic that we have discussed so far, we have understood the basic concept of media planning, we have understood what the difference between media planning and strategy. We are in a position now to capture the key terminologies that are associated with media planning, and then we have also understood certain problems that marketers usually confront while going for media planning. So, as a wise media planner, I has to ensure that I am using a great combination or a wise combination of different media options available to me, so that I can optimize the best outcome out of that. I can be most cost effective and use those different media options in order to communicate my message to the target audience in the most creative fashion. Not overspending, neither underspending, nor over advertising, neither under advertising is the key to success. So, media planners have to understand the target market. They have to take into account the situation analysis before they proceed in the market. If a media planner is able to do so, the success is definitely going to be there. So, at the end, this topic have created a background of the entire thing that we will be discussing in the subsequent lectures on media planning and media strategy. I hope this lecture will add basic concepts and will be able to provoke that feeling within your minds to understand how it is very important for any media planner to think creative, to think out of the box, to think in a cost effective manner, and still ensure that the best message is communicated at the right time to the right audience. With this, I end this topic. Thank you to all.